part of your community.
We're part of your community.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Clark Range High School gym. We're a little bit late getting the boys game underway this evening as we're approaching 8:30 here at the high school. There was a medical emergency just right at the end of the girls contest, and so that delayed the start of the boys contest. And the players are right now on the floor warming up. And we're about 3.5 minutes away from introduction of the players here this evening. The Clark Range Buffaloes coming off a good season last year, and will be playing the opener under new coach Lamar Rogers. As far as the early season at least goes, we're not sure how that situation eventually is going to be handled, but at least for now and possibly all season, Coach Lamar Rogers doing double duty as the boys basketball and the girls basketball coach here at the Clark Range High School. He'll be assisted by Mr. Mike Cross here this season. So Lamar Rogers coaching both the boys and girls teams, and again Mike Cross assisting. We're about 2 minutes and 40 seconds away from the introduction of the lineups. If you joined us late, the Clark Range Lady Buffaloes coming up with a huge district win this evening. It's hard to call a win sometimes huge when it's the first game of the season, but when it's Celina you're playing, and they're figured to be one of the chief foes of Clark Range this year. It's a big win when you can defeat a team the caliber of Celina. That's well, certainly a big win for Clark Range. They've got another big game coming up Tuesday night when Pickett County will be here. So a big win tonight for Coach Lamar Rogers and the Lady Buffaloes. And the boys will be looking for a big victory as well as they take on Celina. Clark Range returning several starters and veteran players from last year. Jason Ramsey will be back starting tonight. Jamie Deaton, maybe the best, if not one of the best, certainly centers and big guys in basketball in the area and the state. Jamie Deaton, number 50. Also starting tonight will be Chris Swapper, 21, who started quite a few games last year. Chad Cox, a relatively new player, came over last year, got in some action. He'll be starting tonight, number 11. And number 40, Jason Taylor, who started quite a few games last year as a freshman. He'll be starting tonight. So Coach Lamar Rogers will be sending out tonight senior Jason Ramsey, senior Chris Swafford, senior Jamie Deaton, and senior Chad Cox, and sophomore Jason Taylor. For Coach Joey Coe and the Celina Bulldogs, he'll be starting tonight. Greg Davis, number 40, Thomas Weaver, 42, Brad Davenport, 20, and some of these players saw quite a bit of action last year. Gary Tensley, 32, and Barry Roach, number 14. So experience on both sides tonight in this contest. Still about 50 seconds away from the introduction of the starting lineups here this evening. Again, a packed house tonight at Clark Range as folks really turned out for the opener, as we knew they would, being Celina and Clark Range. And again, a huge district win for the Clark Range Lady Buffaloes tonight, and it'll be a big district win for whichever the boys teams takes the victory home tonight. The York Dragons were leading at the half over in the Scott County Classic. They were leading Scott County, we understand, 46-27. Once again, our game, the boys game here, getting a little bit late start due to a medical emergency that occurred near the end of the girls' game, actually right just about the time the girls' game was ending. So we're just about set now for introduction of lineup. And again, this being the home opener, they'll be introducing all the roster and the managers and such. Coach Lamar Rogers will be coaching his first game as boys head coach here this evening. I think the coach maybe has filled in the past occasionally when necessary. Let's first of all get the starting lineup for Celina. Number 40 is Greg Davis. Number 42 is Thomas Weaver. Number 20 is Brad Davenport. Number 32, Gary Tensley. And then the fifth starter will be number 14, Barry Roach. They are coached by Joey Coe. Joey Coe, former outstanding basketball player at Celina. And now for the Buffaloes, they'll be I'm assuming introducing all the managers, and let's see if we can find all of that information here. Managers and statisticians, Shenanza Chris and Eric Phillips. And now some of the others, scorekeeper Trevor England, clockkeeper Danny Keys. Danny sits here on the stage with us, though. Let's give you the entire roster. Adam Garrett, Ryan Bilbrey, Joey Cravens, Jamie Cook, Chad Norris, Jason Taylor, Ben Sitton, Danny Howard, Michael Howard, John Stowers, and Jason Ramsey, Chris Swarber, Jamie Deaton, Chad Cox. And they'll get to that starting lineup momentarily as they introduce the entire roster. Clark Range winning the girls' game this evening, 74-62. That was a good ball game. Clark Range led by 8 early, trailed by 7 at the half, and win the game this evening by a margin of 12 points. Now your starting lineup for Coach Lamar Rogers and the Clark Range Buffaloes. A 6'2" sophomore at guard, that is Jason Taylor, wearing number 40. Number 11 is Chad Cox. Chad, a 6-foot senior. Jamie Deaton, number 50, and Jamie they have listed as 6'6", a senior. Chris Swafford is a 6'2" senior guard. And Jason Ramsey listed at 6 feet 4 inches, a senior, wearing number 44. So our Rogers and Mike Cross, the coaches. And so the 8 minutes are up for the first quarter, and we'll be getting action underway just momentarily. Again, this game getting started roughly half an hour late due to a medical emergency, which occurred just about the time the girls' game was ending. Not involving any players, of course. Someone in the stands had a medical emergency, and that delayed the start of this ball game. And so we're set for the action between Clark Range and Celina. Celina dressed in the black with the white trim. Clark Range in the yellow with the blue numerals and trim. And it'll be number 40, Greg Davis, leaping against Jamie Deaton. Don't have any heights on the Celina players, but it looks like Deaton and Davis will match up fairly well. Jamie with a slight height advantage. And again, when they turn the lights off for the introduction, some of them are a little slow coming back up. The tip goes almost out of bounds, saved in though by Jason Ramsey, and it comes back into Chris Swafford. So Clark Range with the first possession. Jason Taylor bringing it up, the sophomore, over to Chris Swafford. Ball slips to his hands. Chris gets it back. Now Jason Ramsey out high. Ramsey moves the ball over to the right side, gives it there to Jason Taylor. Taylor back to the head of the circle, over to Swafford. Floor again a little bit dark at the moment. Here is Ramsey, baseline jumper, a little bit too much on that one, and it's no good. Rebounded by Celina. Upward quickly it goes to Barry Roach. He'll drive it. It's no good. Put back up there and good by number 32, Gary Tinsley. Roach missing the layup, but Tinsley follows, and Celina with the early lead. Jason Ramsey into the front court. They try and trap him in the corner. He gets rid of it to Swafford. Swafford with a basketball, working at the head of the circle there against Barry Roach. Ramsey along the lane to Deaton, off to Taylor for the three. No good. Rebound battle for it. Coming away with it will be Celina. As coming away with it is Brad Davenport. Davenport quickly up court. Here is number 42, Thomas Weaver underneath. It's knocked away and now out of bounds off of Clark Range. At an official timeout. And I think the official wanting the lights to come back up in the middle of the floor, and I think they'll come up by themselves. Evidently, after they're turned off, it takes them a while to come back on, those right down the center. Anyway, with the basketball, here is Celina leading by 2 with it. Over there is Davis. Or excuse me, that was Weaver. And now, what do we have? A traveling violation on Celina. And the ball is rolling free. And the official talking to one of the Celina players, apparently for just dropping the ball instead of giving it to the official. And so now action will resume. And it is Clark Range basketball. 6 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the first quarter with Celina in front 2-0. Jason Taylor to Chris Swafford. To the corner, Jason Ramsey. Jason covered up quickly over there by number 32, Tinsley. Inside it goes to Cox. Chad Cox intercepted, tried to get it to Jamie Deaton. Picked off by Davis, and up court there will be a foul as the ball comes to Barry Roach. Crashing into him was Jason Taylor. That'll be his first, and the first on the team. It'll be Celina to bring it in as they lead 2-0. We've played a minute and a half, and it comes to Davis. Davis whistle. He's traveling as he starts the drive. 2-0 is your score. Now Celina wants a timeout. Coach Joey Coe wants the timeout. 6:29 to go in the first quarter. Celina leads it 2-0.
November is Truck Month at Crossville Ford Lincoln Mercury. That means better bargains on the complete line of 1994 Ford trucks. From the new Ranger line with its new innovations for 1994 to the F-Series Super Duty line for the big haul, every Ford truck is packed with features that make it the performance champ for 1994. Test drive your choice and get the deal of a lifetime from Crossville Ford Lincoln Mercury during November.
When it comes to Ford trucks, come to us.
What would you say if you could do your banking, your shopping, and your business transactions over the telephone? Impossible? Not any longer, thanks to touch-tone technology from Twin Lakes Telephone Cooperative. With touch-tone service, the world is literally at your fingertips. And in November, Twin Lakes Telephone will provide free touch-tone installation with just a small monthly charge. So let touch-tone service open a new world of calling convenience. Your life will never be the same. Twin Lakes Telephone Cooperative, your neighborhood network, doing more for you.
Okay, a brief timeout there as Clark Range brought it down. Jamie Deaton tried a short one in the lane, wouldn't fall, and Celina back in front court with the basketball. This is Thomas Weaver. Weaver over to Tinsley for the jumper, good for two. Gary Tinsley has both of their buckets, and they lead it 4-0. Clark Range coming back trailing. This is Jason Taylor out in the corner to Chris Swafford. Swafford to Deaton. Deaton in the lane. Jumper, short one, no good. Tip up is no good by Cox. Ball rolling free. Jason Ramsey will go back toward the glass. We'll put it up, no good. And he'll be fouled in there by number 42. And that'll be on Thomas Weaver. His first and the team's first. Each team with one personal. 5:46 to go, first quarter action. 4-0. The Bulldogs lead it, and again, Coach Rogers and one of the officials discussing the lights, the little strip right down the center, actually 2 rows of lights, some of them not burning at the present time, and looks like they may be gradually working their way back on. It is rather dark out on the floor at the present time. Jason Ramsey will be at the line shooting 2. 5:46 to go the first. Jason Ramsey, there's the first point of the season for the Buffaloes. Jason Ramsey is first, and the team's first. And the second one is good. And it is 4-2. Celina over Clark Range. Clark Range full court pressure now. And with the basketball, the Bulldogs up court. This is Greg Davis. Has it stripped away, stolen by Chris Swafford. Swafford turns and races the other way to Ramsey. Ramsey in the corner now drives the baseline. He'll drive all the way in, puts it up, no good. Tip up is good by Jason. Jason Ramsey drove the baseline from the left side, missed the layup, but tipped it back in. It's all tied at 4. Now Celina throws it away. Clark Range pressure, forcing the turnover as they threw it into the seats, into that huge crowd of fans over there. Game tied at 4, side front court. Swafford brings it in to Taylor. Taylor over to Swafford. Chris dumps it low inside for Cox. Chad Cox will put it up off the glass, no good. And the rebound is tipped over to Greg Davis. Davis will give it to Tinsley. Gary Tinsley into the front court. Here's the ball going to Barry Roach. For a second, I thought it was intercepted. Those lights in the center of the floor trying to come back up now. Here's a long one put up from the outside. No good by Tinsley. The rebound is by Cox. Chad Cox will clear it out to Ramsey. Jason Ramsey gives it over to Swafford. Chris Swafford going baseline. Off to Cox. Cox will work his way inside. Lay it. Reverse layup. No good. And the rebound is taken away by Davis. Up court quickly, it goes to Roach. Barry Roach has it stripped away, but saved. Now out to number 20. That is Davenport for the jumper, no good. And the rebound off of who? Out of bounds, it'll go to Clark Range. Game tied at 4 with 4.5 minutes, actually 4:32 to go here in the first quarter. And it comes to Jamie Deaton. Jamie They try and trap him in the corner. He gets rid of it to Jason Taylor, and he's called for traveling. Jason took his eye, I think, off the ball momentarily to eye the defensive player and got called for traveling. And so Clark-Range will turn it over. 4:27 to go, first quarter. Game tied at 4. And bringing the ball in there is number 20, Davenport. Back it comes to Davenport now. Out to Davis. Davis cross court to Tinsley out of the corner for 3. It's no good. Rebound. It's tipped out, and it'll be off of Clark-Range. I think they'll say Jamie Deaton knocked it out of bounds. Four to 4 is your score. 4:18. Here's a shot out of the corner. No good by number 20, Davenport. Jason Taylor brings it down. Ramsey from the corner, partially deflected over there by Greg Davis. Back to Ramsey in the lane, and will this be an offensive foul or a block? They'll say a block on Celina. And that draws boos from the Celina folks. And that'll be on Thomas Weaver, his second, team second. But it will put Jason Ramsey on the line. Clark-Range looking for their first lead of the game, first lead of the season. Ramsey free throw good. Jason with all 5 Clark-Range points so far. Now we have 2 substitutions for Celina. Jeff Roberts and Robert Westmoreland coming in. And we have 42 and 32, Tinsley and Weaver coming out. Jason Ramsey back on the line, good. And Clark-Range down with a 2-point lead. And the ball comes to number 14, Barry Roach, up court to Davis. Greg Davis out in the corner. We'll give it off to number 10, Jeff Roberts. Roberts being double-teamed by Ramsey and Swafford. Back it comes deep in the corner, Greg Davis. Jamie Deaton follows him out there. The official almost gets run over by Jason Taylor. That's Clark-Range man-to-man at the present time. Taylor trying to keep up with his man, almost ran over the official. Here's a driving layup, good by number 10, Jeff Roberts. Jeff Roberts layup for Celina, game tied at 6. Now Celina full court pressure into Deaton, back to Taylor. Taylor working there against number 14, Barry Roach, gets it up to Swafford. Swafford back into the front court. Here's Ramsey for a long 3. It's going to be short. Rebound gets away from Jamie Deaton. Jamie couldn't come up with a loose ball. And it's Celina with it. Back across the timeline comes Jeff Roberts over to number 20, Brad Davenport for a long 3-point attempt. No good. And the rebound into the stands after it is Chad Cox. And it's going to be given out to, I believe, Clark-Range, and we may want a timeout. Or it will be Celina ball after the timeout. Celina ball, but we have a timeout on the floor. 3:02 to go in the first. Game tied at 6. And with a timeout on the floor, game tied here at 6 all.
Hi, this is Julie Ledbetter. I'm proud to be a member of the Fentress County Bank Student Advisory Board. Being associated with a team of professional bankers like Fentress County Banks is a great experience for a teenager. I'm glad I chose Fentress County Bank's team. Shouldn't you consider it for your bank too?
And quickly a score from the York-Scott County game at the end of 3. It is York 69, Scott County 54.
Okay, 69-54 into 3 quarters of play, Gary Clark tells us. And here with 3:02 to go, it is Clark-Range and Celina all tied at 6. Here's a steal, Jamie Deaton, and here we go. A slam for Jamie Deaton as the steal by Clark-Range, and Jamie takes it all the way home. Clark-Range leads 8-6. And with the basketball, this is Greg Davis as Clark-Range hawking the basketball. It's knocked down of bounds. It'll be given out to Celina. And when Deaton gets free, headed up floor with the basketball all alone, the crowd comes to life. Here's the ball knocked away, stolen by Clark-Range, knocked free by Swafford, coming up with it Ramsey, and now Jason will have it knocked out of bounds. 2:39 to go in the first quarter. Clark-Range leading by 2. Not a whole lot of scoring going on in this one so far. Jason Ramsey bounce pass to Taylor. Taylor catches up with it. Jumper from the left side, going to be short. Rebound tip up by Deaton, no good. Jamie a little bit off balance, trying to tip that one back. Had to stretch for it, it was no good. Celina with a rebound coming back. With it is number 20. That is Davenport. Baseline jumper there is no good by number 14, Barry Roach. And now a whistle on the play, and we'll get a foul charged against Clark Range. Chris Swafford will be charged with his first of the game, team second. 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's 8-6. Clark Range by 2. At the line, number 10, that is Jeff Roberts. It's good. Roberts with 3 points. He came off the bench. And at the line, again, will be Jeff Roberts. 8-7. Roberts will try and tie the game up, which he does. It's all tied at 8 with 2:14 to go in the first quarter. Chris Swafford, they try and trap him. He works past the trap. Over to Deaton. Deaton out at the head of the circle to Taylor. Taylor to Ramsey. Ramsey inside. Deaton moving down the lane. Bank shot good. Jamie Deaton with 4. And it's a 2-point lead now for Clark Range. Clark Range full court pressure with a basketball. This is Davenport. Davenport still shy of the timeline, backing over the line against Taylor. To the right side it comes to Roberts. Roberts falling down, and they're going to say Deaton, I think, gave him a little help with a push. So a foul on Deaton. Jamie will pick up his first, team's second, or make the team's third. 10-8 is your score. Clark Range leading but 2 with 1:47. And the ball is brought in by Celina. Comes into Roach. Roach out to number 30, Westmoreland. A jumper near the free throw line. Good for Robert Westmoreland. His first 2 points. Game tied at 10. Full court pressure against Deaton to Taylor. To Swafford. Swafford will bring it across the timeline, working there against Westmoreland. In the lane, here's Chad Cox. Spinner, he sort of hangs in the air. The shot is no good, but he does draw the person, only draws the foul. And that one will be charged against number 30, Robert Westmoreland. His first, team's third. The other 2 belong to Thomas Weaver. And number 11, Chad Cox, a 6-foot senior, will be on the line. With 1:26 to go, first quarter. Game tied at 10. This one's up and no good. And that one is no good. Jamie Deaton with a rebound. He'll clear it out to Swafford, and Clark Range will reload. Taylor lets it get away and stolen. Picked up here by Westmoreland. And now going the other way, Swafford with a steal. Left hand pass up court to Ramsey. To the glass. Good. He's fouled. Jason Ramsey with the point. He was fouled. And that's going to be on number 10, Jeff Roberts, rather. Chris Swafford with the steal up court, and he, with the left hand, hooked the pass up court to Ramsey, who went in for the layup and was fouled. Ramsey with 8 points, and he'll be out the line now trying to give Clark Range a 3-point lead. It is no good, and the rebound, the scramble for it finally. Well, it's still free. Knocked free, and coming up with it out on the corner is Roberts for Celina. 1:03 to go. First quarter action. Clark Range by 2, 12-10 with pressure. Westmoreland in the corner to Roberts. Roberts underneath to Davis. He'll double pump one up there. Good. Davis got the roll on that one. This game is tied at 12 with 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Seems like it's been a long quarter. Of course, this game was late getting started. Down to Deaton. It goes in the corner. 35 seconds. Back out to the left side now. Here's Swafford. Swafford to Deaton. Wide open. He'll go to the glass and score. Jamie Deaton might have had thoughts of slamming that one, but he was just too wide open and really underneath the glass. Wasn't in good position to slam it. Could have, but he chose to take the safe route. Clark Range by 2. Celina with the basketball. Outside, a jumper by Tinsley. Good for 2. Gary Tinsley has 6, and the game is tied at 14 as we count off the last few seconds of the first quarter. Taylor to Deaton, 4 seconds. Here's Ramsey out of the corner with 3 seconds, showing no good, and that's going to be the end of the quarter. End of 1. We're all tied up. Clark Range 14, Celina 14, back in 1 minute.
Fentress County General Hospital has trained physicians offering Medifast weight control program. Our weight loss programs mean you lose weight quickly and safely. For a free consultation, call 879-3322.
I found a way to make the changes, take my life and rearrange it. I found a way to make it last. I'm the best I can be. Be the best you can be.
When you want good service, we wrote the book.
For years, people have depended on the good service of one company. The company, Frog & Williams Incorporated, with offices in Pine Haven, specializing in limestone products, including all grades of crushed limestone for road work, building purposes, and agricultural lime. For the same good service, fast delivery, and fair prices, call 879-ROCK. Frog & Williams, the cornerstone of good service.
At the end of one quarter of play, we're all tied up, 14-14, so we really didn't decide anything in the first quarter as the game is tied. And it'll be Celina ball as we begin quarter number 2 with the basketball. This is Gary Tinsley against full court pressure from Clark Range. And here's an interception. They try to go back to Roberts, intercepted by Ramsey. Jason Ramsey all the way down in the lane. He'll be fouled. Looked like a pretty good block from behind from here for Robert Westmoreland, but they're going to call Westmoreland for the foul. And that'll put Jason Ramsey on the line. Westmoreland, his second foul. That'll be 5 on the team. And Jason Ramsey will be at the line. Jason's free throw, no good. Jason now 4 of 6 from the line. Got an outstanding crowd here this evening. And this one is good by Jason. 9 for Jason. He has 9 of the Clark Range 15 points. The other 6 belong to Jamie Deaton. Semi-full court pressure that time by Clark Range. Here is Roberts in the lane. A jumper that is no good. Rebound put back by Westmoreland. And good. Westmoreland with the points, and Celina now assumes a 1-point lead, 16-15. Seems like Westmoreland and Roberts, the only 2 Celina names we're calling. Sure, that's not the case, but seems that way. They're really involved in the action. Clark Range trailing by 1 on their home court. Inside it goes Deaton. Deaton to the glass, good. Deaton as Roberts went to the floor, but no call from the official as Deaton goes up over him. Jamie with 8, Clark Range by 1. Trapping on the ball again, but getting rid of it there was number 22. And here's a shot outside, Davis. Greg Davis for a 3, and Celina jumps in front now by 2, 19-17, 6:54. To go in the half, Jason Taylor brings it across with no pressure on him. He'll be picked up just across the line by Tinsley. In the corner to Deaton. Jamie Deaton back out to Taylor at the hash mark. On the right side now, Jason takes it low in the lane to Deaton. Jason Ramsey will back it back out. Back to Deaton it comes. Deaton over Robertson, good. Jamie Deaton beginning to pick up the pace a little bit. He has 10. And the game is tied at 19. Here's a jumper, no good, by Westmoreland. And the rebound is taken away by Clark Range, Jason Ramsey. 6:17 to go in the first half. Game tied at 19. Now there's the ball almost stolen by Celina's Robert Westmoreland. Instead, it's knocked out of bounds. Coming into the game for Clark Range will be John Stowers. Jason Taylor going out. Coming out for Celina will be 10 and 32. That is Jeff Roberts and Gary Tinsley. And we had 42 coming back in. Thomas Weaver, also Barry Roach, I believe, coming back in. Game tied at 19. 6:09 to go first half. Play. Bounce pass from Deaton to Ramsey. Ramsey with the point. Jason Ramsey with 11. He has 11. The other 10 belong to Jamie Deaton. So the 2 big guys for Clark Range have sort of hogged the scoring so far. And they're traveling with number 14, Barry Roach. Really not a lot of pressure on him, but he inadvertently lifted his pivot foot, and it's called for traveling. And so on the turnover, Clark Range will bring it back, leading by 2. 5:50 to go here in the first half. Jason Ramsey back out to Swafford. Chris over to Jamie. Jamie Deaton on the wing, guarded there by Westmoreland. John Stowers head of the circle to Swafford. Swafford looking at Deaton, can't get it to him. Deaton effectively guarded right now by Thomas Weaver. Jason Ramsey on the right side, back out to Stowers. Stowers to Swafford. Over to Stowers. Stowers standing on the 3-point line, gives it back to Swafford. Swafford down low. Here's Chad Cox, and Chad will be fouled by number 42. He's a little bit disgusted with himself. Thomas Weaver will pick up his 3rd. That should be 6 on the Bulldogs. And it's going to be Weaver coming out. Coming back in will be Jeff Roberts for Celina. Celina in the black this evening of the white numerals and trim. Clark Range, yellow and blue. Swafford into Deaton. Back out to Stowers. Here's Swafford for 3 from the left corner. Chris Swafford, his first points of the game in the season, a 3-pointer. Clark Range by 5 now, 24-19 with 5:09. Coach Lamar Rogers coaching his first official game as the head coach of the Clark Range boys. Here's a baseline jumper by Davis. It's no good. A battle for the rebound. He goes out off of Clark Range. And as I said earlier, Coach Rogers pretty sure has coached filling in maybe sometimes over the years when he had to, but never as the actual head coach. Substitution for Clark Range, or for Celina rather. Davenport back in there. Here's the ball again, knocked out of bounds by Clark Range. 24-19 with 4:57 to go in the half. And it is brought in now by number 22. That is Chris McLaren. McLaren, here's a long shot from the outside. It's going to go up and over the backboard. The long three-point attempt by Barry Roach hit the rim, went over the backboard, and so give it out to the Buffaloes of Clark Range. With 4:45 to go in the first half, down low, Swafford tried to get it down low to Deaton, but it was tipped out of bounds by Davis. Draws a round of boos, I think, from the Celina fans over there. 24-19 is your score. Chris Swafford to inbound. And it's picked off. He tried to get it to Stowers, picked off by, or up court, it's going to go to number 14, Barry Roach, was picked off by Davenport, who got it up court quickly to Roach, and Roach with a point. It's a three-point Clark Range lead, 24-21. Makes it a 5-point lead as Jamie Deaton, a jumper just inside the free throw line. Jamie with 12. He takes over the Clark Range lead in scoring. Clark Range with 26, Celina 21. With the basketball, this is number 20, Davenport. Over to McLaren. In the lane there, wide open momentarily was Davis. He lost the handle, now gets it back, misses the hook shot, a more or less a hook shot type layup, but it's going to be out of bounds off of Clark Range. Now Chad Cox coming out. Jason Taylor back in. 4:06 to go in the first half, 26-21. And it's McLaren to bring it in. McLaren brings it in the corner to Davenport. Back to McLaren. He'll take it back out front, gives it over to number 14. That is Roach. And here's the long one by Davenport. It's no good. And Jason Ramsey for the rebound. Jason to Stowers. Stowers to Taylor. And Taylor races it into the front court down the right side. And kicked out of bounds there by Celina's number 20, Brad Davenport, who sends it out of bounds. 3:48. Here is Swafford for the long one. Going to be no good off to the left. Rebound is Taylor. Taylor underneath the basket, having difficulty going back up, and he was fouled. And I believe that's going to be charged to number 10. It will be a foul on number 10, Jeff Roberts. Chad getting the rebound, but he was just directly under the basket, and he was going to have to move one way or the other to attempt a layup, and then he was fouled. Jason Taylor at the line. Jason Taylor puts it up, and it is good. The sophomore getting his first point of the season. And you'll have one more coming. And it's good. Taylor with 2, and the Clark Range lead is 7 now. So Clark Range stretching it out a little bit, but it's been nip and tuck so far. Clark Range full court pressure. Here comes Celina. Greg Davis up on the baseline to number 10, Roberts. His outlet pass from McLaren right at the line. And boy, his toe was right on the line, but he manages to swing it back, and it's going to be given out Clark Range. Number 22, McLaren, getting out there trying to keep the ball from going back across the line, and he reached over and got the ball before it landed in the backcourt. Looked like his toe was just touching the midcourt stripe. He took the ball back over his head, but it goes out of bounds, so give it out Clark Range. Taylor into the front court to Ramsey. Jason to the senior, Jamie Deaton, coming through the lane. Jamie had it stripped away, though. Taken away by Celina. Coming back with it is number 10, Jeff Roberts. Over to number 22. That is McLaren, and there's a shot blocked. Davis trying to shoot out of the corner, had the shot blocked, almost out of bounds, but saved by Clark Range. Here comes Swafford. Swafford in for Deaton, picks off, and Davis going to return the favor. Davis going to go in, and he missed the slam dunk. Had a little bit of pressure from Jamie Deaton. It's rebounded by Celina. Here's a long three-point attempt, no good by Roberts, and intercepted, or rebounded rather, by Clark Range. Jason Ramsey with the basketball. Jason over the head pass to Deaton. Deaton for the bucket. Jason Ramsey just a little bit over the head, over the shoulder, pass behind him to Deaton, who scores. Clark Range by 9, 30-21. 2.5 minutes to go, first half. Here's a jumper, no good, by Davenport. It's rebounded by Ramsey, and Jason Ramsey wants to run with it. He'll drive the lane, and good. Jason Ramsey. Jason, I show him a 13, and Celina will need a timeout. Clark Range on a roll right now. 2:15 to go in the half. Clark Range leads 32-21.
It's nice to be a hometown bank, one that helps our neighbors and friends grow and prosper. At Union Bank in Jamestown, we enjoy seeing pleasure reflected in the eyes of our customers. Whether it's a wedding, the first day in a new home, the birth of a child. Come by Union Bank and talk to us about your future. We have many services that are designed especially for you, so you can truly enjoy your golden years. Union Bank, your home-owned bank in Jamestown. Member FDIC.
Cook Trucking Incorporated of Clark Range believes in Fentress County. After all, their investments are locally, providing quality jobs for more than 30 persons. Even though their big rigs traverse the country delivering quality merchandise to keep the wheels of business turning, their financial and physical muscles are being flexed in Fentress County, providing better jobs and better education for our children. When you think of Cook Trucking Incorporated of Clark Range, think of folks working for a better Fentress County.
And with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half, Clark Range has suddenly spurted down to an 11-point lead. Clark Range showing full court pressure. Celina bringing it up. They'll be called for double dribbling. And again, there's the Clark Range pressure. Coach Lamar Rogers, of course, he really favors the pressure defense with the girls' teams. But although he didn't show it a whole lot in tonight's game, but looks like the boys adapting to it quite well, even though they've used the pressure at times in the past. Here tonight, they're using it effectively. Jason Ramsey spinning with the ball in the lane, gives it off to Taylor. 2 minutes to go. Jason Taylor in the lane for Cox. It's tipped away. Scramble for the loose ball. And tied up on the floor. Possession belongs to Clark Range. So possession going to Clark Range with 1:55 to go in the first half. Jason Ramsey back out to Swafford. To the corner to Taylor. Jason Taylor from the left corner for three. No good. Rebound back at Jason Ramsey off his hands and picked up by Celina. And with the basketball, this is number 10. Jeff Roberts all the way in. The ball knocked out of his hands. He tried to drive in the lane, but somebody knocked it out of bounds. So give it out to the Bulldogs with 1:40 to go in the first half. Clark Range leading by 11, 32-21. With the basketball, this is Westmoreland in the lane. The jumper, that is good. That was actually going, that was Westmoreland with a bucket. He was fed there by Davenport, so Westmoreland with the points. It's 32-23. Coach Joey Coe down the way on his feet. To the baseline, John Stowers at the free throw line. Jason Ramsey, give him to Jason. Having a big first half, Jason with 15. And Clark Range lead back at 11, 34-23 with 1:10 to go in the half. Celina coming through the lane. There will be a push, and looks like they're looking at John Stowers for that one. And it will be 1-0, John Stowers picking up his first. That's only 4 on the team. Cox coming out, Deaton coming back in. 1:08 to go in the first half. Clark Range leading by 11. After a slow start, scoring picking up a little bit. With the basketball, Westmoreland head of the circle over to number 20, Davenport. Davenport guarded closely here by Taylor. Jason Taylor. Now it's stripped away by Jamie Deaton. Deaton stripped it away from Jeff Roberts. Deaton to Taylor, and Jason will bring it across the line with no backcourt pressure. 49 seconds to go in the half. Jason Ramsey near the hash mark right side, back to Taylor. Deaton in the circle. Jamie to Taylor. Over to Ramsey to Deaton to the corner. Stowers, Clark Range playing a little keep away now with 35 seconds to go in the half. Now Taylor will fire for three. It's no good. Deaton knocks it away from Roberts and put up there and good. And let's see, who was that? Was that Swafford? And that is Roberts with the foul. Jeff Roberts his third. It was Chris Swafford with a bucket. In the crowd I couldn't see, but it was Chris Swafford getting the bucket. He was fouled by Roberts. And so it's 36-23. Clark Range with 13. At the line is Swafford. Free throw no good. And the rebound is taken away by Celina. Davis up court. He threw it away. Davis with the rebound, but the pass up the floor intended for Barry Roach is high, wide, and out of bounds. 25 seconds to go in the first half. Coming back with the basketball, Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor down low. Jamie Deaton, baseline jumper is no good. And the rebound by Celina's Greg Davis. Davis clears it up quickly to number 32. That is Tinsley back in the game. Here's Davis going to push up a long three. No good. And it's Jason Ramsey with the rebound. Jason a little bit off balance. Now the ball stripped away at the buzzer. And we're at the end of the first half. Well, at the end of the first quarter, we were tied at 14. Clark Range comes out and outscores them 22-9 in the second quarter. And that's the half. Clark Range leads at 36-23. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Who's got big news on bigger burgers? Your Dairy Queen Brazier store, of course. Dairy Queen's regular hamburgers are bigger, so you get more great hamburger taste. Burgers, hot dogs, and especially sandwiches. Peanut buster parfaits, banana splits, and DQ blizzard flavored treats. Hot and cold foods that go beyond the dull and dim you get at other places. Delicious delights that aren't a drag on your wallet. Only at your Dairy Queen Brazier store, North Main Street in Jamestown. Let's put things in perspective. With Blevins Ditching and Excavating of Jamestown, that means your priorities. You, the customer, come first with Blevins Ditching and Excavating. They pride themselves on being construction specialists with the equipment and know-how to get the job done in a quality manner. For custom backhoe work and excavating, no matter how large or small the job, call Ike Blevins Jr. at 879-5923 for a free estimate today. He'll get back to you in the shortest possible time.
We're proud to serve you.
It takes a lot of hard work and total team effort to stay ahead of your opponents, whether you're talking local sports or local banking. Here in this area, we have some of the finest sports programs around. Progressive Savings Bank is proud to be a sponsor of local sports and invite you to join us in supporting our teams.
Stay a step ahead. With the step ahead.
Progressive Savings Bank, Jamestown and Wartburg, keeping you a step ahead, insured by FDIC.
And before we return you to Gary Crockett, let me pass along a final score we have from tonight. Wayne County, Kentucky tonight down Livingston Academy boys in a big way. Now, this game was close at the half. It was 33-29, but the final, Wayne County 86, Livingston 44.
Okay, thank you, Gary Clark. And here at halftime, the Clark Range Buffaloes, after a slow start by both teams, and after being tied at 14 at the end of one quarter, Clark Range took control in the second quarter, and the Buffaloes lead it now by the score of 36-23, 13-point margin for the Buffaloes at the half. For Clark Range, they are led in scoring by Jason Ramsey. Jason with 15, no personal fouls. Jamie Deaton follows closely with 14 points, 1 foul. Chris Swafford, 5 points, 1 personal. Jason Taylor, a couple of free throws for 2 points. He has 1 personal foul. John Stowers has played, hasn't scored, picked up 1 foul. Chad Cox has played, has not scored, and has not drawn a personal. So Clark Range only 4 personal fouls in that first half. Celina had a total of 8. As far as the free throws go, looks like Clark Range about 7 of 12. 7 of 12 from the free throw line for the Buffaloes. For Celina, the Bulldogs led in scoring this evening by a couple of players with 6 points. Gary Tinsley with 6 points, no fouls. Robert Westmoreland, 6 points and 2 personals. Greg Davis, 5 points, no personal fouls. 2 points and no fouls for Barry Roach. 4 points and 3 personal fouls for Jeff Roberts. Also seeing action, well, several players saw action and did not score and did not pick up any personal fouls. A total of 8 personal fouls on the Bulldogs. A couple of players in some foul trouble, Thomas Weaver and Jeff Roberts, each with 3. No one in any foul trouble for the Buffaloes this evening. No player with more than 1. In fact, as a team, only 4 team fouls. Clark Range, 7 for 12 from the free throw line in the first half, and for Celina, they were a perfect 2 for 2. So at halftime, the Buffaloes, being coached by Coach Lamar Rogers, leading the Bulldogs of Coach Joy Coe by a score of 36-23. Again, this is the opener for both schools this evening, and they open up in a big way. Clark Range and Celina expected to be, at least in the girls' play, 2 of the top teams in the district, and I would think both these boys' teams will be actively involved in the district title chase this season. Halftime score 36-23. Clark Range up by 13. We're about 6 minutes away from the start of the second half. Looking at the schedule again this Saturday night, Clark Range will be back at home. They'll be hosting Hartsville, non-district action this Saturday night. Hartsville coming in here this Saturday night. And then a week from tonight on Tuesday, November 30th, another big night of district action as Pickett County will come to Clark Range. Pickett County with the boys' new head coach, Mike Buck. They'll be in here for the first time this season, a week from tonight on Tuesday. And looking at the York Institute schedule, of course, the York boys participating in the Scott County Classic again tonight. The last score we had from over there, I believe Gary told us York was leading at the end of 3 quarters, something like 69-54. So that game should be just about over, and maybe Gary will have a final score shortly when we go back that way. York on Friday and Saturday, the York boys and girls will be participating in the Venture Express tip-off tournament at McMinnville. I believe Coach Lee Linder was saying yesterday the girls would play sometime around 3:30 on Friday. Looking ahead to Monday, on Monday night, the 29th, York will be playing Crossville at Cumberland County. Cumberland County at Crossville, rather. That'll be 6 o'clock Monday night, York at Crossville. And so then on Thursday, December the 2nd, York will be playing Marion County down at Jasper. And then on Friday night, York will see their first district action Friday, December the 3rd, when they'll be hosting DeKalb County. So the 93-94 basketball season is off and running. York boys already with 1 victory and maybe by now 2 victories on the season if that game is over at Huntsville. Clark Range Lady Buffaloes getting their first win tonight, a big district win over Celina. And the Buffaloes looking for their first one here as they lead at the half, 13 points, 36-23. We'll take about a 3-minute break, Gary, about a 3-minute break with these words from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the second half tip-off. And with about a minute, a little over a minute remaining here in the intermission period, Clark Range leading 36-23. And the York Dragons, impressive so far this season as they have picked up 2 wins in the Scott County Classic and winning tonight, I believe Gary said 101 to 87, something like that. He'll have the final score back there for us again later. But I wrote it down as he gave it, but I passed it on over to Shane Mundy, who's doing the PA work here, and I forgot the score. But I know York scored 101 points and winning tonight. So they've got 2 victories, and the Clark Range boys looking for their first win here tonight. They right now have a 13-point halftime lead over Clark Range, 36-23. Coach Lamar Rogers looking right now for his first win as head coach of the Clark Range boys. Got his first victory of the season tonight as the girls coach, as the Lady Buffaloes won over Celina 74-62. That was a close game most of the way. Clark Range winning it, though, 74-62. As we get set now to begin the second half here in the boys' contest with Clark Range in front. Again, no one in any foul trouble for York. No player with more than, or for Clark Range, I'm sorry. 1 foul on Jamie Deaton, 1 on Swafford, 1 on Stowers, 1 on Jason Taylor. A little bit of foul trouble for Celina as Thomas Weaver with 3 and Jeff Roberts with 3. Robert Westmoreland with 2. Again, our game a little late getting started this evening due to a medical emergency up in the stands. This game got started probably half an hour late, so we're only at halftime here at Clark Range. Getting set to go, though, in quarter number 3. Clark Range leading at 36-23, and it will be Celina basketball. As half number 2 gets underway, Brad Davenport will bring it in, probably, to Barry Roach. Clark Range will be working left to right, Celina right to left here in the second half. And the ball comes to Greg Davis. Jamie Deaton trying for the steal. That left the middle open briefly, but now the ball knocked away by Clark Range out of bounds, and it'll belong to Celina. So we are into the third quarter, 9 seconds into it. Bringing the ball in is Brad Davenport, having trouble finding somebody open. Now gets it in to Tensley, Gary Tensley, back out front to Thomas Weaver. And Celina will set it up. Number 20, that is Davenport. Davenport back over to Tensley. Tensley guarded closely by Taylor, spins away from him, gets it over on the wing on the left side. Brad Davenport. Davenport coming off the wing into the lane. Short jumper, good. Brad Davenport getting his first 2 of the game, and Celina pulls to within 11. Up court quickly. Here's Deaton. Driving layup, no good, but he was pushed off there by number 42, Thomas Weaver. Let's make sure that's Weaver. That should be 4. It is Weaver. It is his 4th. And he's going to be coming out. Coach Joy Coe up quickly. We'll get number 10, Jeff Roberts, into the game. 7:25 to go. Third quarter action, 36-25. At the line, Jamie Deaton. Clark Range leading by 11. Deaton down to our right, picking up a free throw, good. That is the first free throw of the night, first attempt by Jamie. He has a total of 15 points. He and Jason Ramsey tied for the team lead. Now Deaton moves in front. 16 for Deaton, and Clark Range lead back at 13. Clark Range pressure on the ball as Tinsley brings it across the line. Now to Davis. Davis will go baseline, moving it around Deaton, and Deaton will be called for a block foul there on the baseline. And for Jamie, that'll be foul number 2. Team's first of this half. Each team has one now in the half. Now John Stowers coming in. He'll take the place of Jason Taylor. Taylor coming out, Stowers in. 7:17 to go in the third, 38-25 Clark Range. As bringing the ball in is Davenport. Now to Tinsley, head of the circle. Davenport circles back around to the head of the key. Working there against Jason Ramsey. Whips it with the left hand into the left corner to Tinsley. Tinsley comes off the wing now through the lane. Across the lane it goes to number 20, Davenport, who fires for 3 and good. Brad Davenport threads the needle from three-point range. And it's a 10-point game, 38-28 Clark Range. Jason Ramsey bounces it. His pass came up a little short, picked off by Roberts, and here's a layup, and no good. Missing the layup was Barry Roach, and Coach Joey Coe, as they say, says, I can't stand it. They missed an easy layup that time. Barry Roach, and Coach Joey Coe just turned his back on it. And the shot up here, this time by Celina inside, is by Clark Range, rather, no good. And here comes Roach again. He missed another short one. He'll try it again, no good. And this time it is Chad Cox. Barry Roach having a tough time from short range. Here's Cox, the short jumper. It's no good. And it's rebounded this time by Robert Westmoreland. Now that is, I believe, Roberts instead of Westmoreland. And it is Tinsley bringing it down. Out in the corner it goes for Celina to number 20. That is Davenport. Davenport to Roach. Now in the lane, having trouble with the ball is Davis. The ball is pushed back outside to Davenport, who will fire the long one. No good. And the rebound is by Clark Range. John Stowers will cover it up. Now brings it across. Stowers over to Swafford. Clark Range leading by 10. 5:40 to go in the third. In the lane, it goes to Deaton. Deaton to Swafford. Swafford into the paint. Back out to Deaton. Deaton can't hang on to it. It's rolling free. Now he'll scramble over and save it on the sideline. Here's Ramsey out of the corner. Rims out. No good. Rebound Deaton. Deaton will try to go back up, but it's stripped out of his hands. Now Ramsey trying to save it. It was number 32, Gary Tinsley, stripped it out of the hands of Deaton. Jason Ramsey tried to save it, but it's boxed out of bounds. Give it out to the Bulldogs, trailing by 10. They'll try and bring it up against pressure from Stowers. Tinsley gets it across the line. Tinsley near the hash mark right side. Now it comes off the wing into the lane, lays it up, no good, but he was fouled as he came past. Let's see if it's on Stowers. It will be. He was fouled by Stowers. John picking up number 2 and the team's second. At the line will be Tinsley. 5:12 to go, third quarter action. Clark Range led him at 13 at the half. At the line, Tinsley. It's up and no good. And the York Dragons winning their game, their second of the season in the Scott County Classic tonight. And this one is good by Tinsley, so he made 1 of 2. It's a 9-point Clark Range lead, 38-29. Now Celina showing full court pressure, and it comes to Deaton. Deaton will be called for traveling. Nice job there by Davis and Roach as they pressure Jamie a little bit. He tried to step around them, and it's called for traveling. Clark Range timeout. Timeout on the floor, 5:10 to go in the third. The Buffaloes lead, 38-29.
I'm Chad Canancer, a member of the Fentress County Bank Student Advisory Board. I've found that Fentress County Bank bankers are committed to serving the needs of this community, from our teenage board to our senior citizens. This means providing financial services suited to all ages.
Fentress County General Hospital, recognizing the need for treatment for those suffering from alcohol and drug problems, opened the Chemical Dependency Unit in July of 1988. Rebos provides comprehensive services for addiction problems. The self-contained inpatient unit occupies the lower level of the hospital and adult and adolescent outpatient units are provided throughout the region to meet the needs of all who seek help. Call toll-free at 1-800-872-6594 for more information.
Action resumes, and with the basketball, Celina trying a couple of shots would go down. They'll save it on the rebound. Davis back outside to Tinsley. Here is Roach driving lane, shot blocked by Deaton, and they're going to call Jamie for the push. Looked like he had one hand up on the ball, maybe the other hand on the left side of Roach. So Jamie will be called for personal number 3, and the team's third. And this will put number 14, Barry Roach, on the line for the Bulldogs of Celina. And he'll shoot 2 from there. His team trail him at 9. And the first one is no good for Roach. And this one is good. 4:54 to go, third quarter. Clark Range down by 8. They led by 13 to come. Here's a ball off the hands of Deaton, picked off by Davis. Davis over to number 20, Davenport, who fires long range, no good. And the rebound is taken away by Jason Ramsey. Jason all the way down over to Deaton. Deaton coming in from the left side, puts it up, no good. Offensive foul, Jamie. And he'll be called for charging. Davenport drew the charge from Deaton, and for Jamie, that's going to be personal, number 4. So Jamie will have a seat. Also going out, looks like Tinsley for Celina, and we'll see if we can pick up who came in for Tinsley. And I'm not sure exactly who came in right then. Here's a long shot put up there by Westmoreland, possibly Westmoreland coming back in. It's no good. And the rebound is by Clark Range. Jason Ramsey up court quickly to Swafford with 4:20 to go. Bounce pass from Chris to Chad Cox. Turnaround by Chad, no good. And the rebound is by Celina, so you feel the momentum shifting a little bit to Celina now, especially with Jamie Deaton going out. Barry Roach will slow it down a little bit. Now he'll take it to the head of the circle over on the right side to Westmoreland. And the lane off the feet of Roberts, picked up by Swafford. Back comes Clark Range. Chris Swafford into the lane. He's going to force one. No good. Tip up by Jason Ramsey. No good. That was Stowers trying to tip it back. No good. And it's rebounded by Jeff Roberts of the Bulldogs. Back will come Celina. Davenport in the lane area goes to Davis. The turnaround short jumper. Good. Greg Davis has 7. And, folks, we got us a ball game. It is a 6-point lead for Clark Range, 38-32. And the Buffaloes, they turn it over. The pass up court out of bounds. Intended for Stowers, but it was off the mark. And Clark Range leading by 13 at the half, now by only 6 points. 3.5 minutes to go. Here's a long one by Davenport. It's no good. Rebound, scramble for it. It's knocked out of bounds. Should be off of Celina. Knocked out by number 30, Robert Westmoreland. Westmoreland tried to make the official think Clark Range touched it last, but the official had a good look at it. And so Clark Range brings it back. A packed house at Clark Range tonight, not an empty seat in the place when everybody is in place. Here comes Taylor down low. Nice feed to Jason Ramsey. Jason on the left baseline, standing there minding his own business, and Taylor flips the ball at him, and Jason then goes in for the layup. 40-32 your score. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here is Davis on the baseline. Nice move. Davis, and nice, well, they're going to call a foul on it, but it was a nice rejection, knocking the ball away by Ramsey, but Jason will be called for the personal, and I think that's his first. That is the first of the game on Jason Ramsey, so he can afford to play a little bit aggressively, I guess we could say, the rest of the way, at least for the next several minutes, as that's his first personal foul. 40-32. Jamie Deaton, however, is on the bench with 4 fouls. Here's a long one outside, no good by Barry Roach. The ball goes out of bounds on the rebound. They'll say it's knocked out by Clark Range. And the ball comes to number 30, Westmoreland. Bounce, or baseline jumper, rather, no good. And the rebound is taken away here by Stowers. John Stowers up court quickly to Swafford. We're down to 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Jason Taylor, jumper along the circle. It's no good. Rebound is by Celina. Jeff Roberts will clear it out to Barry Roach, down to 2:22. On the baseline there is Davis shooting over Ramsey. Good. Davis now with 9. It's 40-34. Here's a steal. Davenport steps in front of Stowers. Now Stowers strips it away. A little give and take there as Stowers gave it up, but got it right back. Here's Ramsey driving the lane. I thought he might have took an extra step, but I guess not. Nice drive by Jason Ramsey. And it was Ramsey with the points. Jason now with 19. Here's a long one out of the corner. Air ball put up there by number 30. Robert Westmoreland shot an air ball quickly. Back comes Clark Range. Here is Stowers. Short jumper, no good. Rebound is taken away by Jeff Roberts, and will turn and go the other way, as it is Jeff Roberts, number 10, across the timeline for the Bulldogs. 2 minutes 34 down to go in the third. Davenport to Davis out of the corner. They leave him alone, so he'll shoot the long one. Good. They'll have to get somebody out there on him. Davis kept the pace a little bit. Nobody went out on him, and he had plenty of time. Here it comes Ramsey driving the lane. Offensive foul, Jason. Jason Ramsey taking it to the hoop is called for the charge. And that's personal number 2 on Jason. And show that as 6 team fouls on the Buffaloes. 42-37. Suddenly it's a 5-point ball game with 1:11 to go. Here is a jumper, no good by Davenport, and they may get Jason Ramsey on the back. I think that's the case. Well, just a moment ago, Jason picked up his first foul. Now suddenly he has 3, so he may have to back up a little bit now. And coming into the game is going to be number 23 for Clark Range, and that is Michael Howard. Michael Howard and Jason Ramsey will come off. So he and Jamie Deaton both out of the game. Deaton with 4, Ramsey with 3 personals. That one up and good. And that is number 30, Robert Westmoreland, picking up his first point of the game. And he's got another. So we have a 3-point game now. Clark Range is led by as much as 13, and there's the ball stripped from Cox, and he'll be called for traveling. Celina getting after it defensively now, and Cox will turn it over on the traveling violation. And give credit on that one to number 40, Greg Davis. With exactly 1 minute to go in the third, it's a 3-point lead for Clark Range. Here is Davis going to the hoops, and he's got another one. Davis with 9 points here in the third quarter. He had 5 in the first half, now 9 in the third quarter. It's a 1-point game, 42-41. Clark Range with the smallest possible advantage. 42-41. Here is Cox. He'll travel the lane and be bumped in there. Played just a little bit ragged that time, but Cox did manage to draw the foul. Foul will be charged to Greg Davis. That's his first on Davis. So he and Ramsey played most of the game foul-free. Jason did get into a little foul trouble here within the last few minutes, picking up his first, second, and third all here in the third quarter. He's on the bench right now. Coming out of the game is going to be Davenport. Coming back into the game will be number 22. That is Chris McLaren. Again, if you're just joining us, and this game is running a little late. We got started late tonight due to a medical emergency from the stands. And here's the ball knocked away, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. Clark Range trying to come up with a loose ball, but couldn't quite do it. 28 seconds to go in the third, and it's Clark Range leading by 1. Substitution, Jason Taylor out. Coming into the game is number 14. That is Ben Sitton. First we have seen of Ben tonight. 23 seconds to go in the third. Clark Range by 1. Here is Roberts driving the baseline. Good, and Celina has overtaken Clark Range. Celina moves in front for the first time this half. They led early in the game. And here is number 11 also in the ball game for Clark Range, and that is Cox. And a foul going to be charged too. That'll be on number 10, Jeff Roberts. That's going to be his 4th. And the team's 4th of the night for Roberts. And it comes to Sitton, Ben Sitton. Clark Range may be looking for a long one from him. No, it is Chris Swafford taking the long one, no good. He'll chase it down with 2 seconds. Chris will fire with 1. It's going to be short. And so at the end of 1 quarter of play, Clark Range finds themselves now trailing by 1. It's Celina 43, Clark Range 42.
The book on good service was written by a company in Pine Haven. The company, Frog & Williams Incorporated, specialist in crushed limestone of all grades and sizes, including agricultural lime. Whether you're in need of gravel for a driveway or a major construction site, you'll receive the same fast delivery and good service. Call Frog & Williams at 879-ROCK.
When it comes to good service, we wrote the book.
We're a hometown bank, everybody needs one. Doing things your way, people you depend on.
When it comes to financial matters, people want a bank they know and trust. Union Bank has an approach to banking that inspires trust for the best in personal banking and individual service. See Union Bank.
We're a hometown bank, everybody needs one.
Union Bank, a home-owned tradition since 1904. Member FDIC.
And we get set to begin the fourth and final quarter of action. We hope the final quarter of action this evening. 43-42, your third quarter score. Celina in front. Celina trail by 13 at halftime. They lead now by 1. Clark Range to the ball. Celina with the lead. Here's a long one put up by Michael Howard. It's going to be no good from the wing. Tip up no good by Deaton. And it's rebounded by Celina. So Celina brings it down now, looking to build on a 1-point lead. Davis. In the lane it goes to number 42, who is Thomas Weaver. The ball knocked free, picked up by Jamie Deaton to Stowers. On up to Howard to Deaton. Deaton will pull it up, give it over to Ramsey, back out to Stowers, to Swafford. Swafford will go baseline. In the lane here is Deaton. A short one, that's no good. And the rebound is taken away by Weaver. Thomas Weaver coming back up court quickly. Over to number 22, McLaren, puts it up no good. Follow-up is no good by 14, Barry Roach. And a whistle will sound. And a foul on number 14. That'll go against Celina. Barry Roach will pick up the foul. His first of the game, team's fourth. We're into the final quarter, 7:14 to go in the ball game. Celina leading Clark Range by 1. Clark Range won the girls' game 74-62. Chris Swafford over to Jason Ramsey. Jason way out on the right wing. Guarding him closely there is number 30, Robert Westmoreland. Almost a steal by Celina. Back to Swafford. Swafford moves it in along the lane, dumps it off low to Deaton. Jamie to the glass, and he'll score. Jamie Deaton had to force that one up there. Clark Range back in front by 1, 44-43. This begins to resemble the girls' game a little bit. Each team had a sizable lead at times. Then it got close again, and Clark Range eventually won it. Here's a short jumper, no good by Davis, and now Clark Range will come back looking to build on a 1-point lead. Jason Ramsey all the way down. Jason spinning, nice move, bank shot. No, it will not fall for him. It falls, but it comes off outside the rim. And it's Celina coming back looking to retake the lead. 44-43, the home team. Barry Roach with it. Over to, this is Westmoreland for a long one. No good. And they scramble for the loose ball on the floor. Jason Ramsey comes up with it. Jason drives up court. Off to Howard. Howard almost travels. Gives it back to Jason. Jason, short one. No again. It rattles and comes off. Deaton puts it back. No good. And he'll be fouled. And Jamie finally winds up out near midcourt. The foul, I believe they say 22. That'll be McLaren. Chris McLaren is first, team's fifth. Jamie Deaton's going to be on the line for Clark Range. Coming out of the game is Westmoreland. And coming back in will be Davenport. Jamie Deaton will shoot 2 with 5:58 to go. First one by Jamie is no good. And Clark Range hasn't been at the line a whole lot in this game. They were, well, let's take that back. They were 7 of 12 in the first half. That one is good by Jamie Deaton. So Clark Range with a 2-point lead, 45-43. Clark Range 3 of 4 from the line in this half. So it looks like they're 10 of 16 in the ball game. Here's a long one out of the corner, no good for number 20, Brad Davenport, and the loose ball picked off underneath. Jason Ramsey bringing it back, and now the ball knocked out of bounds up court. I believe it was Davis who got a hand on it. 45-43, the Buffaloes by 2. The first game of the season is a big district game for both Clark Range and Celina. Along the baseline, here is a turnaround by Deaton. No good. Rebound. Scramble for the loose ball. It's going to be off of who? They'll say off of Celina. Michael Howard and Chris McLaren battle for the loose ball. And apparently went off of McLaren. Give it out Clark Range. Chris Swafford into Deaton. Jamie in the corner now back out front to Stowers, who almost had it stripped away. Stowers gets it back, needs some help, gets it from Swafford across court. Inside for Deaton, or rather for Ramsey. It's picked off by Davis. Davis got up high. Greg Davis for the interception. Clock range by 2, but here comes Celina to the glass. Weaver, nice strip as the ball was stripped away by Michael Howard. Now it's out of bounds. Give it out to the Buffaloes of Clark Range. Nice play by Michael Howard as he stripped the ball from Weaver. They look to be about set to tie this game up. Clark Range gets it after the ball went out of bounds. 45-43, exactly 5 minutes to go in the game. Chris Swafford over to Stowers. Stowers looking in along the lane. Here it goes to Deaton. Turnaround about a 10-footer. Good for Jamie. Jamie has his first 20-point game of the season. 21 points now for Jamie Deaton. Clark Range to 5. Jason Ramsey has 19 for the game. Here's a long one out of the corner. No good for Davis, and the rebound is taken away by Deaton. By the way, Jason Ramsey, in case we forgot to say, Jason is back into the game. Jason with 4 personal fouls. And here's Swafford off in the corner to Stowers. Back along the lane. Same thing to Jamie Deaton. Bank shot wouldn't fall that time for Jamie. And the rebound is by Davis. We're down to 4-18. 4-point lead for Clark Range. Celina down in the corner. Weaver working the baseline. Nice reach around by Swafford. Should have been a foul call there, I suppose, but the official doesn't see anything to call. It's knocked out of bounds by Swafford, and Coach Lamar Rogers wants a timeout. With 4:11 to go in the ball game, Clark Range leads at 47-43.
A modern trucking company is so much more than just shipping and receiving goods. Take Cook Trucking Incorporated of Clark Range for an example. It could be more accurately described as a company that traverses the nation with big rigs, delivering goods to business and industry alike, and at the same time investing its resources in local jobs and a better education for our children. Cook Trucking Incorporated of Clark Range, a strong company working for a better Fentress County. Who's got big news on bigger burgers? Your Dairy Queen Brazier store, of course. Dairy Queen's regular hamburgers are bigger, so you get more great hamburger taste. Burgers, hot dogs, and especially sandwiches. Peanut buster parfaits, banana splits, and DQ blizzard flavored treats. Hot and cold foods that go beyond the dull and dim you get at other places. Delicious delights that aren't a drag on your wallet. Only at your Dairy Queen Brazier store, North Main Street in Jamestown.
And with 4:11 to go in the ball game, it's a tie at 147-43. Clark Range by 4, but Celina with the ball. And it comes to Tinsley. Tinsley back to Weaver. Weaver spins on the baseline. Short jumper, no good. Jamie Deaton picks it off out of the air. Jamie, actually an air ball he caught on the other side, and it's given up to Swafford now. Swafford to Michael Howard. Michael has all over him there is Davenport. Michael Howard, short jumper, good. Michael moves down to the baseline. Michael Howard getting his first points out of the season. Clark Range with a 6-point advantage now, 49-43, with 3:40 to go in the ball game. Celina with the ball inside, knocked away by Swafford. Coming up with a loose basketball is Jamie Deaton. Back to Swafford. Swafford has it stolen away. Took his eye off the ball. Stolen by Davenport, who'll drive, who will miss it. Davenport missed the layup. He saw Deaton coming in on his right side. He looked over at Deaton and missed the layup. Deaton to Swafford, and Swafford back in front. Clark Range with a 6-point lead. Looking to score and thrown away as Swafford trying to get it to Deaton. Picked off by Weaver. Weaver, and now kicking it away is Tinsley. I'm sorry, that is not Tinsley, but Westmoreland. Robert Westmoreland got a nice feed, but it looked like he hit it with his knee, knocked it out of bounds. 3:07 to go in the ball game. 49-43. Buffaloes by 6. Home team looking to take both ends of this doubleheader tonight. But a ways to go in this one yet with a not too comfortable 6-point lead for Clark Range. Jason Ramsey with a basketball. Gives it over to Swafford. 2:55 to go. Swafford. Deaton way out on the wing now. Clark Range spreading it out a little bit. Here is Ramsey taking it into the lane now. Good. Jason Ramsey as Clark Range builds a little bit on their lead. As I said, Clark Range spread it out just a little bit, and then Jason Ramsey took it to the lane. 51-43, down to 2:35 to go. With a basketball, that is number 30 over there in the corner, Westmoreland. Back out front it comes to number 20, Davenport, who fills it up from 3-point range. Brad Davenport with a 3. And it's a 5-point game again, 51-46, down to 2:17. Over to Michael Howard. Michael to Swafford. Swafford will fire the three, and good. That is a big basket. Clark Range had went up by 8. Then saw their lead cut back to 3, and now Chris Swafford answers the three-pointer by Davenport. So that gives them right back the 8-point lead. And there's a shot hit the backboard, and that's going to be off of Celina. Number 10, Jeff Roberts, trying a baseline jumper left side and hit the backboard, came back his way and off his hands out of bounds. And do we have a timeout? We do. 1:54, a minute 54 remaining in the ball game. Clark Range leads at 54-46.
Today's consumer has a right to expect work to be done right the first time. For custom backhoe work and excavating, call Blevins Ditching and Excavating at 879-5923. That's Blevins Ditching and Excavating of Jamestown, construction specialists that are very, very good. Not only are they knowledgeable about all kinds of construction projects, large or small, they're also believers in fair pricing. Call them today for a free estimate. They'll get back to you in the shortest possible time.
We think service is important too.
It takes a lot of hard work and total team effort to stay ahead of your opponents, whether you're talking local sports or local banking. Here in this area, we have some of the finest sports programs around. Progressive Savings Bank is proud to be a sponsor of local sports and invite you to join us in supporting our teams.
Stay a step ahead. Get with the step ahead.
Progressive Savings Bank, Jamestown and Wartburg, keeping you a step ahead, insured by FDIC.
And with a minute 46 now to go, Clark Range with the basketball, an 8-point lead, 54-46. Here is Swafford into the lane. It's a 10-point lead. Chris Swafford, nice job. Chris with 10, and the Buffaloes now by 10 points. 56-46. Here's the ball taken away. Actually thrown away by Celina, picked up by Ramsey, and there will be a grabbing foul on number 20, Brad Davenport, who actually turned the ball over. And so that will give the ball out to Clark Range. That is only 6 team fouls on Celina, so that will not put Clark Range in the bonus. Next one will. Chris Swafford with the basketball, head of the circle, working there against number 32, Tensley. Along the lane here is Ramsey going to the hoop. He's got 2 more, and he is fouled. Jason Ramsey with 23. Foul will be on number 10. And that is Roberts, and that's his 5th, so he's through for the evening. 6 points he'll finish up with. And with a minute 16, the Clark Range Buffaloes look very much like they're going to make it a sweep tonight for the Clark Range teams. And these could turn out to be really, really big games as the season develops. Jason with another free throw made. He has 24 points for the night, 59-46. And Celina in front court with a minute 9 to go. Deep in the corner is Davenport. Back out to Weaver underneath. Nice feed there to Davis. Nice feed as Davis will score. Greg Davis with 16. 11 of those here in the second half. And it's an 11-point game. Coach Rogers holds up the clenched fist, which pretty much means shut it down if you can. Jason Ramsey, as Clark Range goes to the corners, to Stowers, to Swafford. Swafford brings him back over, tries to get it to Ramsey. Before he can, he'll be fouled with 45 seconds to go. So, again, looks like Clark Range will pick up their first win of the season and first district win, barring a major comeback in the next 45 seconds by Celina. These two teams, well, we'll have to see. They'll get together after the first of the year, second time at Celina. This one is going to rattle around by Swafford, no good on the free throw. Clark Range hasn't been at the line much here in the second half. Looks like they're 4 of 6 in the second half, 11 for 18 for the game. Celina bringing it back with 39 seconds to go, 59-48. Long shot from the outside is no good by number 14, Barry Roach, and now scramble for the loose ball on the floor. Michael Howard and Davenport, and it's going to be a foul, I believe, against Davenport, will be. And that should put Michael Howard on the line. Davenport his second, and that will be 7. That's 8 actually now on Celina. 59-48. We should be talking with Coach Lamar Rogers shortly after the game is over. Michael Howard on the line. Free throw up there, and it is good. Michael Howard has 3 points. Clark Range now by a dozen. Clark Range girls won by 12 this evening, 74-62. Here at 60-48. And this one by Michael is no good. And with it is Celina coming back. Davenport over to McLaren. Chris McLaren, long three-point attempt, banks it off the glass, no good. Rebound Clark Range, then out of bounds off the hands of Michael Howard. Michael had it briefly, but gets away. And it's going to be Davenport to bring it in. Davenport brings it in over Howard. Along the lane, Ramsey. And back over it comes to Davis. Well, it's stolen by Davis. They were trying to get it to Deaton. It's stolen by Davis. Now bank shot up there, no good. By Davenport, Davis will try it again. No good. He'll be fouled by Michael Howard. Michael picking up his first foul of the game. Now we'll see a bit of substituting by both coaches. Coach Joy Coe sending in number 11. That is Kevin Rich. Also 44 coming in. That'll be Shane Ledbetter. And who else? Number 15 wants to get in, John Welch. Coach Rogers, we'll see who it was he sent in. I can't see the number from here. That's Ben Sitton, I believe, coming back into the game. 11 seconds to go. Clark Range looking to wrap up their first win of the season. Greg Davis, free throw no good. And that one is no good. Rebound is taken away by Jason Ramsey. Jason just trying to cover it up that time and wait more or less to be fouled, which he was. Foul was on 44. That'll be Shane Ledbetter, who just came in. And with 8 seconds to go at the line will be Jason Ramsey. Jason leading the Clark Range scoring with 24. Jamie Deaton is 21. Make it 25 now for Jason. And Jason will have one more coming with 8 seconds to go. He's got it. Jason Ramsey, big night. 62-48, 8 seconds to go. And the Bulldogs up court. Here's Davis out of the corner with 4 seconds. That's short. Rebound is put back up there and no good. And that's your ball game. 62-48. Clark Range defeats Celina. 62-48. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Don't miss the gigantic Thanksgiving savings going on at Burnett's Soup Red of Allard. House of Rayford turkeys 10 to 20 pound average 49 cents a pound. Hamilton semi-boneless ham halves $1.79 a pound. Fresh ground beef 99 cents a pound. Kern's Brown and Serve rolls 12 pack 3 for $1. Morning Fresh self-rising flour 5 pound bag 89 cents. And RC Cola 12 pack just $2.29. Price is good through November 30th. Burnett's will be open Thanksgiving Day 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Where we want to be, we're part of your community.
Building for a brighter tomorrow. That is the #1 goal at Kentucky Apparel and Laundry in the Industrial Park in Jamestown. Providing jobs to improve the local economy and turning out quality products that are shipped worldwide. Kentucky Laundry, supporting local schools, sports, and activities. Just another way of saying we're proud to be a part of your community.
We're part of your community.
Okay, we are back here at the Clark Range High School. Coach Lamar Rogers already up here with us, and we'll get a few words out of Coach. Okay, Coach Lamar Rogers, congratulations. Can you hear anything at all? Okay.
Yeah.
You can hear. Okay, congratulations. 2 victories tonight as your Lady Buffaloes and the Buffaloes each pick up impressive victories over Celina. Both games kind of tight there for a while. You'd have a lead for a little while, then they'd come back, and finally you stretched it out and won it. Both cases in the end. Let's go back to the girls' game. First of all, you jumped out on them, I think, by 3 points. I'm looking, yes, it's the right one. You had them by 3 at the end of the first quarter. They led you by 7, but you came back with a big third quarter in the girls' game.
Well, that's right. They, both the Celina boys and girls both got a whole lot of athletes down there, and they got some good teams and had them for years, really. And the girls' game, we probably played a pretty solid game. It was a little bit wavy and everything, but we showed, I think, a tradition and comeback ability for coming back on them there, and we played a lot of people in the girls' game. We've got, I think, our depth showed a little bit, and it allows us to do some good things. So I was real pleased with that. That's, real big win for us, and, I think it, should boost our confidence and on down the road, and hopefully we can keep working harder and keep improving.
You shot the free throws, I guess, poorly first half, but the second half you came back, I think you were 7 of 15 first half, 13 of 16. So you shot free throws a whole lot better in that second half, which helped out too. Which may not have been a great big thing, but it helped.
Well, that's right. We went to the free throw line pretty good. We was concerned, about who went to free throw line the most and everything. But we, the first half missed. I think I had us missing 9. You might have had us missing 8 or whatever. But I felt like last half we shot real well, and that was important. And then we did our delay game fairly decent there for a couple minutes when they was, when we got the lead and they had to come back and try to foul. So real pleased with that, and didn't know for sure how that was going to, how we would play, this early, and felt pretty solid with that one.
Well, that's a big district win to get out of the way early and get them here at your place, and a big district win. Let's move on to the boys' game again. Kind of a tight game most of the way, but you win it by, I think, 14 points here in the end. A real tight ball game.
Well, it was, it was, both teams, I think, can play a whole lot better than this Celina boys can. I know we can also. It was a little bit sloppy. We had, had the first half, had a 13-point lead, and then they come out and outscore us 20-6 in the third quarter, and they, go ahead with 1 point. So, we ain't at all satisfied, but we'll take the win, and hopefully go back and correct mistakes and get the, the little edge. Celina got some big athletes, and we was doing a good job, but we still not seen much zone, early in the boys having in the scrimmage games, and I feel like, the man that we played against in our scrimmage games, that the guys have done real well, and then the zone, it looks like we still got a lot of work to do on that.
Yeah. Well, Coach, so let's look ahead now. You got Hartsville coming here Saturday night, and it's Byrdstown coming in here Tuesday night. So you got some pretty tough games. I don't know really honestly anything about Hartsville. Maybe you can tell us, but Byrdstown will be another tough test for you Tuesday night.
Well, that's right. Saturday night Hartsville, played them last year. I think it's the first time we played them in the regular season, and the guys I've checked, and they've got, I think, 4 starters back. They've and someone said they've got a guy who was injured or something about grades that didn't play last year. It was a good player also. So they had a good ball club last year, and I think Monterey might have barely beat them, in the regional. Wasn't that the game where the guy hit the long shot? So they've got some good athletes, and that'll be a challenge. And then, then Tuesday night we've got a lot of tough games coming up, and there's a lot of good teams out there, Gary. So we've got to, boys and girls both got to keep working hard and improving. We'll take the wins tonight, and we're taking with them, but there's still, both teams needs to crank it up another 10 or 15 points improvement.
Well, congratulations, Lamar. I know it's a little bit late. You got school tomorrow, so we'll let you go. But again, congratulations on 2 big wins, and we'll look forward to seeing you sometime next week.
Okay, appreciate it a lot, Gary.
Coach Lamar Rogers doing double duty this year with the boys and girls, getting 2 victories tonight as the Lady Buffaloes win 74-62, and the Buffaloes pulling out a win tonight 62-48. Let's go back and give you a wrap-up on these 2 games, then we've got to get it out of here. The Clark Range Lady Buffaloes pick up a big district win tonight as they defeat Celina 74-62. For Clark Range, 27 points for Andrea Hall, 7 points for Rodica Dishman, 12 points for Pamela Rogers, 10 for Melinda Atkinson, 12 for Amy Smith. Jody Cooper added 4. Jessica Jones had 2 points. For Celina, they were led in scoring tonight by Crystal Davis with 16, followed by Melissa Denton with 14 and Melissa Webb with 13. Clark Range wins it by the score 74-62. In the boys contest, the Buffaloes also picking up a big district win as they defeat Celina 62-48. For Clark Range, Jason Ramsey 26, Jamie Deaton had 21 points, Chris Swafford 10, 3 points for Michael Howard, and 2 points for Jason Taylor. For the Bulldogs, they were led in scoring tonight by Greg Davis with 16 points. Clark Range wins it 62-48. So the Buffaloes and Lady Buffaloes each picking up a key district win here tonight. Their next action Saturday night, they'll be hosting Hartsville, and a week from tonight, it'll be Clark Range hosting Pickett County here at Clark Range. The York Dragons winning their game tonight in the Scott County Classic. Gary Clark will have more on that for you a little bit later. But York now 2-0 on the season. And looking ahead for York, they'll be participating, both the boys and girls, in the Venture Express Tip-Off Tournament this Friday and Saturday down in McMinnville. And then on Monday, the 29th York will be playing Cumberland County at Crossville. So again, Clark Range 2 key district wins here tonight. They start the season off the right way with 2 wins, and they'll be playing here at home Saturday night, hosting Hartsville. Tonight's action being brought to you by Crossville Ford, Lincoln Mercury, by your Twin Lakes Telephone Cooperative, by Fentress County Bank, Jamestown, Allard, and Clark Range, by Frog & Williams Incorporated, Highway 127 North at Pine Haven, by Fentress County General Hospital, Highway 52 West in Jamestown, by the Union Bank, North Main Street in Jamestown, by Cook Trucking Incorporated of Clark Range, by the Dairy Queen, North Main in Jamestown, by Progressive Savings Bank, Jamestown and Wartburg, by the Allard Superette at the Four-Way in Allard, by Kentucky Apparel and Laundry of Fentress County, and by Blevin Stitching and Excavating of Jamestown. So again, Clark Range winning 2 tonight here at Clark Range as they defeat Celina in the boys contest 62-48, in the girls game 74-62. 415-104 Sports from Clark Range. Gary Crockett saying so long.
And we now join ABC News.